A fellow gardener sharing thoughts from the soil. What if I told you the richest sources of protein in your garden aren't the ones you chase at the market or the ones wrapped in plastic at the store, but the quiet growers right under your feet and reaching toward the sun in your own backyard beds? Picture stepping outside on a dewy morning in early spring, the air still carrying that cool, earthy bite, and harvesting handfuls of vibrant green pods or tender leaves that pack more muscle-building power per bite than many slabs of meat ever could. Most folks still chase steaks and powders, yet these humble plants have been quietly nourishing bodies, building strength, and sustaining families across temperate zones from the rolling hills of Europe to the variable seasons of North America for centuries. Today, as we dig into the soil together, I'll walk you through 20 remarkable garden-grown or easily cultivated plant foods bursting with protein, complete amino acids, and a host of supporting nutrients that make them true allies for anyone tending both body and plot with care. We'll explore how they thrive in our home gardens, how to coax the best from them season after season, and why they deserve a prime spot in your sustainable, organic beds. Stick with me through the rows, because the one at number 14 might just outshine a ribeye when it comes to protein per calorie, and it's been quietly feeding communities since before modern farming even existed. And by number 20, you'll meet an algae so dense in nourishment that space programs once eyed it for journeys far beyond our atmosphere. Let's wander the garden paths and discover these treasures together. Starting close to home with something many of us already grow without giving it much thought. Green peas. Those sweet little orbs that tumble from pods in late spring carry about 9 grams of protein in a single cup, edging out a whole egg while delivering a surprisingly complete profile of all 9 essential amino acids. Imagine snapping open fresh pods right there in the patch, the crisp pop releasing that bright, grassy scent as you pop a few in your mouth for an instant garden snack. Peas love cool weather, so in USDA zones 3 through 8, or across much of Europe from the UK to Poland, sow them directly in early spring, as soon as the soil can be worked. They climb happily on simple twig supports or chicken wire, fixing nitrogen in the soil as they grow and leaving it richer for whatever follows. Beyond protein, they're packed with fiber, iron, and B vitamins that keep energy steady through long gardening days. Modern kitchen trials show pea protein isolates support muscle recovery just as well as other sources in active folks, but nothing beats eating them fresh from your own vines. A common mistake is planting too late when heat arrives. Peas sulk and stop producing in summer warmth, so succession sow every 2 weeks for a steady harvest through early summer. In cooler northern climates or high elevations, they linger longer, rewarding you with bowl after bowl for soups, purees, or simply steamed with a touch of mint from the herb bed. Next in the rows come lentils, those ancient builders of strength that have sustained empires across the Mediterranean and beyond. A cup of cooked lentils brings roughly 18 grams of protein, rivaling ground beef, yet costing pennies and improving your soil when grown as a cover crop. Lentils thrive in well-drained, slightly alkaline beds in zones 4 through 9, preferring full sun and moderate water. Scatter seeds in early spring after the last frost risk passes, and watch their delicate fronds unfurl like tiny ferns. They mature quickly, often ready in 90 days, making them perfect for small plots or interplanting between slower crops. Their roots work wonders, pulling nitrogen from the air and storing it for next season's tomatoes or brassicas. Nutritionally, they offer fiber, folate, iron, and manganese that support steady blood sugar and heart health, something our forebears knew instinctively as they simmered pots of stew through harsh winters. Try red lentils for quick cooking dal stirred with garden herbs, or green varieties that hold their shape in salads. A troubleshooting tip: if your soil is heavy clay, mix in plenty of compost to prevent rot. In drier European summers or Midwest droughts, mulch thickly to retain moisture. Lentils teach patience and reliability, turning modest garden space into reliable protein harvests that feed both body and future beds. Then there's the often misunderstood hemp seeds, harvested from plants that grow tall and sturdy in backyard settings across temperate regions. 3 tablespoons yield about 10 grams of complete protein, complete with an ideal balance of omega-3 and omega-6 fats that soothe inflammation after a day of digging. Hemp loves rich, loamy soil and plenty of sun, thriving in zones 5 through 9 with consistent moisture but good drainage. Sow seeds directly in late spring once soil's warm, spacing them generously so the tall stalks don't crowd. In many parts of Europe and the northern United States, these plants reach impressive heights by late summer, their seeds developing in dense clusters you can harvest by hand or with a simple screen. The leaves make excellent mulch or compost tea, returning nutrients to the earth. Beyond protein, hemp supports heart health and easy digestion, and its bioavailability means your body actually uses what it takes in. A relatable story from many gardeners. The first year I grew hemp, I worried about the legal whispers. But once cleared for low THC varieties, it became a garden staple. Its seeds toasted lightly and sprinkled over morning porridge or blended into smoothies. Watch for birds stealing seeds near harvest. Netting helps, or simply share a little as nature's way. In cooler climates, protect young plants from late frosts with row covers for stronger starts. Nutritional yeast might not grow directly in the soil, but it pairs beautifully with garden harvests, delivering 8 grams of complete protein in just 2 tablespoons, along with fortifying B12 that many plant-based eaters seek. Sprinkle it generously over roasted zucchini, fresh pea shoots, or homemade breads from your wheat patch. Its cheesy, umami depth transforms simple garden meals into something satisfying and nourishing. While you cultivate the veggies, keep a jar handy for that extra boost of zinc and B vitamins that power through weeding sessions. Studies highlight its beta-glucans aiding immune support, making it a quiet ally during flu-prone autumns in temperate zones. Black beans, those deep, earthy gems that built diets across the Americas, offer 15 grams of protein and matching fiber per cup, creating sustained energy that carries you through harvest days. Grow them in warm, sunny beds in zones 5 through 10, sowing after soils reach 60 degrees. Bush varieties suit smaller gardens, while pole types climb trellises alongside peas for companion magic. Their nitrogen-fixing roots enrich the soil beautifully for heavy feeders like corn or squash in the classic Three Sisters planting. Antioxidants in their dark skins fight inflammation, and their versatility shines in garden-fresh burritos, soups, or fermented into robust pastes. In European climates with shorter summers, choose early maturing varieties and start indoors if needed. Common pitfall: overwatering leads to mildew, so water at the base and ensure airflow. These beans reward consistent tending with shelf-stable stores that see you through winter, proving glamour fades but nutrient density endures. Quinoa, the sacred seed that isn't quite a grain, provides 8 grams of complete protein per cooked cup, rich in magnesium and iron for steady garden stamina. It flourishes in cooler climates, zones 4 through 9, tolerating light frost and poor soils better than many crops. Sow directly in spring, thinning to 12 inches apart, and watch the colorful seed heads sway like miniature fireworks by midsummer. In mountainous European regions or the Pacific Northwest, it performs exceptionally, its nutty flavor pairing with fresh herbs or roasted roots. The Incas revered it, and modern trials confirm its protein rivals dairy sources while staying gluten-free. Harvest when seeds rub free easily, then rinse away bitter saponins for pure enjoyment in salads or porridges. If birds raid the heads, cover with mesh or harvest early. Quinoa teaches resilience, thriving where other grains falter and leaving beds ready for rotation. Edamame. Young soybeans picked green, surprise with 18.5 grams of complete protein per cup, outperforming chicken in calorie efficiency. Grow bush or pole soybeans in warm summer beds, zones 5 through 11, sowing after frost danger passes. They fix nitrogen generously, benefiting nearby brassicas or greens. Steam fresh pods straight from the vine for snacks that satisfy between weeding rows, their subtle sweetness enhanced by a sprinkle of sea salt from your kitchen. Isoflavones support heart and bone health, debunking old myths through solid research. In shorter European seasons, select early varieties and use black plastic mulch to warm soils. Pick pods when plump but still bright green for peak tenderness and nutrition. A small victory. Interplant with marigolds to deter pests naturally, keeping your harvest clean and abundant. Tempeh brings fermentation magic to soybeans, yielding 31 grams of protein per cup with added probiotics from the process. While you might buy or make it from homegrown beans, the base crop grows like edamame, enriching soil as it goes. The firm, nutty texture grills beautifully alongside garden veggies, absorbing marinades of herbs and garlic from your beds. Fermentation breaks down anti-nutrients, boosting mineral uptake, and research links it to better gut diversity. In humid summers common in the eastern U.S. or parts of southern Europe, ensure good airflow during any home fermentation to avoid unwanted molds. This ancient Indonesian staple proves that transforming garden bounty through simple traditions elevates protein into something deeply nourishing and satisfying. Pumpkin seeds, tiny grenades of power, deliver 9 grams of protein per ounce, plus zinc and magnesium for immune and recovery support. Grow pumpkins or squash in generous mounds, zones 3 through 11, with plenty of compost and space for sprawling vines. Harvest seeds from mature fruits after the vines wither in autumn, rinsing and roasting them with a touch of oil and salt for crunchy toppings on salads or soups. Ancient American cultures prized them as medicine and food. Today they aid prostate health and sleep through tryptophan. Don't discard the flesh either. Roast it or turn into pies while saving every seed. In cooler climates, start indoors to extend the season. A common mistake is crowding vines, leading to mildew. Give them room and trellis vertically if space is tight for better air circulation and easier picking. Amaranth, the resilient grain with a rebellious past, offers 9 grams of protein per cup cooked, high in lysine that complements other plants. It grows vigorously in hot summers, zones 4 through 11, producing towering seed heads that shimmer in the breeze. Sow after frost, and it self-seeds readily in many gardens, popping up like a welcome volunteer. Use leaves as nutritious greens early on, then harvest seeds for porridges or baked goods. Its anti-inflammatory properties and mineral richness support heart health, and its history of survival against suppression reminds us of nature's quiet strength. In European gardens with variable weather, it handles drought better than many grains. Pop the seeds like miniature corn for a fun garden treat with the kids or grandkids. Chia seeds fuel endurance with 5 grams of protein and abundant fiber per 2 tablespoons, plus omega-3s for steady energy. Grow chia in warm, sunny spots, zones 8 through 11, or as an annual farther north with protection. The plants produce tiny flowers that turn to seed heads by late summer. Soak seeds for puddings blended with garden berries, or stir into overnight oats with fresh mint. Ancient warriors carried them for long treks, Modern athletes value the hydration they provide by gelling with water. In temperate zones, start indoors and transplant for reliable sets. They tolerate poor soil but reward fertile beds with heavier yields. Companion plant with beans for mutual support in the patch. Spirulina and its cousins bring extraordinary density. Though often cultivated in controlled settings or ponds, they align with garden thinking through their efficiency. At 60 to 70% protein by weight, a small amount delivers complete nutrition with antioxidants that bolster immunity. Blend powder into smoothies with kale or cucumber from the beds for an earthy boost. NASA once studied it for space, highlighting its low resource growth. In home setups, some gardeners maintain small spirulina tanks fed by compost teas, turning garden waste into superfood. Its history in African and Aztec lakes shows long human partnership. The strong taste mellows in fruit blends, making it practical for daily use during busy harvest seasons. Chickpeas, Mediterranean workhorses, provide 14.5 grams of protein per cup with unmatched versatility. For hummus, from garden garlic and herbs, grow in warm beds, zones 6 through 10, sowing in spring for summer pods. Their nitrogen-fixing ways prepare soil beautifully. Roast fresh chickpeas for snacks or grind dried ones into flour for flatbreads. Research confirms better satiety and heart benefits, mirroring long-lived cultures that never abandoned them. In cooler northern gardens, use cloches for earlier starts. Ensure dry conditions at pod set to prevent fungal issues, a lesson learned after one too wet season. Mycoprotein from fungi offers 11 grams per 100 calories, surpassing ribeye, with complete amino acids and unique compounds like beta-glucans. While not directly row-grown, mushrooms integrate into garden systems via logs or beds enriched with wood chips from pruning. Oyster or shiitake varieties add meaningful protein alongside immune support. Grow them in shady spots under trees or in dedicated beds, harvesting flushes after rain. Their sustainability shines. No vast pastures needed, just efficient vertical or shaded production. Clinical trials show muscle benefits comparable to animal sources, making them a smart addition for active gardeners. A small story. After inoculating logs one autumn, the first spring flush felt like discovering hidden treasure beneath the bark, turning yard waste into meals. Peanuts deliver 7 grams per ounce, with heart-healthy fats and vitamins that support long-term wellness. Grow in sandy, warm soils, zones 7 through 11, or as annuals farther north with care. The plants flower above ground but pod below, a fascinating process kids love to dig up at harvest. Roast or grind into butter for simple, affordable protein on garden-fresh bread. Large studies link regular use to lower heart risks. In humid areas, watch for leaf spot. Rotate crops and choose resistant varieties. Their association with simple pleasures hides their true nutritional depth. Tofu, from homegrown soybeans, offers 10 grams per half cup, a blank canvas absorbing garden flavors like basil or tomatoes. Soy plants grow much like edamame, enriching soil. Press curds from milk made from your harvest for fresh batches. Research affirms heart and bone support, aligning with Asian traditions of longevity. Marinate and grill slabs alongside summer veggies for satisfying meals. For gluten-sensitive folks, it shines where others can't. Sacha inchi seeds from vining plants bring 9 grams of complete protein per ounce with omega-3 riches. Grow in warm, sheltered spots or greenhouses in temperate zones, training vines on trellises. Indigenous Amazon knowledge highlights their digestibility and anti-inflammatory gifts. Roast seeds for snacking or press for oil to drizzle on salads. As demand grows, more gardeners experiment with them in protected plots, discovering a rainforest secret ready for home beds. Seitan, crafted from wheat gluten in your own grain patch, packs 21 grams per 3 ounces with a chewy, meat-like bite that grills or stews beautifully. Grow wheat or use vital gluten from home-milled flour, shaping it into roasts or strips marinated in herb vinegars. Buddhist monks refined it centuries ago for meatless strength. Not for gluten-sensitive, but for others, it transforms garden produce into hearty feasts. Its density makes small portions satisfying during busy seasons. Moringa leaves, from fast-growing trees in warmer microclimates or pots, deliver 27 grams of protein per 100 grams dried, plus vitamins galore. In zones 9 and above, or indoors/greenhouses elsewhere, it thrives with minimal fuss, leaves harvested repeatedly. Powder-dried foliage for smoothies or teas, supporting blood sugar and energy. African and Asian communities call it a miracle for good reason. Its amino profile and minerals sustain where other foods fall short. Prune regularly for bushier growth and more harvests. Finally, chlorella, the single-celled green marvel at 50 to 60% protein, completes the list with complete amino acids and cellular support studied by NASA for space missions. Cultivate in home bioreactors or aquaponics tied to garden systems, blending powder into juices with fresh greens. Its detoxification and immune benefits shine during seasonal transitions when bodies need extra care. East Asian traditions embraced it long ago, proving algae's quiet power. A small daily addition turns garden smoothies into powerhouses. As the sun dips lower and shadows lengthen across the beds, remember that these 20 plant allies aren't distant strangers, but partners waiting in the soil, on the vine, or in simple preparations from your harvest. They've sustained gardeners and families through changing seasons, from crisp European springs to humid American summers, offering not just protein, but deeper connections to the earth, biodiversity, and self-reliance. Start small this year. Tuck peas or lentils into a corner plot. Scatter chia or amaranth seeds. Nurture a few mushroom logs. And watch how your body and garden respond with new vitality. The real magic happens when you step outside, hands in the dirt, tasting the difference fresh, homegrown nourishment makes. What surprises you most about these garden proteins? Try one this season and share your small wins in the comments below. Your plot, your plate, your strength. All growing stronger together, one seed at a time. Here's to rich soil, abundant harvests, and the quiet power thriving right outside your door.